Wolverine1591 of Gamers X here. So we got the Superman trailer. In fact, I'm representing me. The camera I did get, but I'm wearing the Superman hoodie. So normally I would do a breakdown, of what was seen, but I want to talk about how we had the Henry Cavill Superman, Man of Steel, the Snyder version, and thing is, when all that came out, when all of it was basically, are we gonna get a continuation? Are we gonna get a sequel and whatnot? And I did the video of what James Gunn was gonna do, and part of me was hoping that at some point we are gonna get it, but I don't think that's in the cards now. I mean, unless they start branching for it, start branching where it's gonna be, we do get it, but knowing Zack Snyder, that's again not in the cards. But I mean, because I do want a continuation with Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, and so on and so forth. I do want that, but at the same time, it's like this. Okay, because every time I hear about Man of Steel is reflective of the modern era, the like, I always hear, like, okay, we're not in the era of the Christopher Reeve Superman, we're not in that era anymore, and at the same time, I always go, does it really have to reflect it? And like, I'm all for, any superhero movie, show, whatnot, to get the grasp of modern times. But at the same time, it's like Superman is the universal ideal of hope, and of course the boys, the whole Homelander aspect, and I always think that's more so of a parody of the superhero genre. That's what it is, basically. But you think of Superman, you do think of hope, and this whole trailer, it kind of shows it, and this is what people want out of it. And the thing is, like, again, I love what Zack Snyder did with Man of Steel and what came after. At the same time, it's like, do we really need a darker Superman? And think with what with Zack Snyder, how he does things. He just deconstructs and so on. Whereas James Gunn does have a certain way around things, but he sees things from a comic book movie perspective. You see from what he does with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Like, if anybody were to think way back when, even before the announcement of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the idea of a talking raccoon and a tall tree that only can say I am Groot, nobody would nobody would have cared. But the way that James Gunn made Guardians of the Galaxy, he made you care about Star-Lord, Groot, Rocket, Gamora, Drax. He made you really care about the characters. And again, it's not to say Superman, the whole Superman thing doesn't have fans. There has been tons of people who love Superman as much as Batman, and yet I always hear that argument, the whole, oh well, Batman's more realistic character than Superman. Well, you also have to think that it's only a superhero story, and again, I'm always gonna talk about when you see from like Homelander and all that from the Boys parody, and it's like, again, parody versus the actual thing. And it's not to say that, oh, you shouldn't. I'm not telling you not to watch The Boys. If you want to watch The Boys, go, go ahead. I mean, again, parody versus what's there. And so, also is the way that you get with get with what Superman was always about. He came from a planet that was destroyed and was adopted by loving parents and learned from both the adopted parents and the parents that he would have grown up with if Krypton had survived. That it could be a beacon of hope, a beacon of change if it can, and that's what people also gravitate towards too. And knowing what we have been dealing with recently and before, with what we had to deal with staying at home and everything, we can use a little bit of hope. Granted, hope doesn't always get you what you actually want, but that doesn't mean that you can't have hope within yourself. That's what I always got from Superman. Okay, when I first watched the Richard Donner Superman, my most favorite part of it was in when him and Jonathan are at the farm, and after using his abilities and whatever, he's like saying, why shouldn't I show off what I could do? And Jonathan tells him, that's not the point, that you're here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but you're here for a really good reason. And that's been the focal point of the character. And even what happens to Jonathan, he even says, I have all these abilities, I can save him. And that's what gets Clark to be Superman. Not every of his gifts can save everybody. I've been a fan since the Smallville era, the whole again Richard Donner era, the Brandon Routh era, the Snyder era, like whichever, like again, I'm wearing the hoodie. I have like like a lot of like I have a fair amount of shirts to wear, and I always listen to the Superman theme song. I always did, the John Williams score, which James Gunn said he wasn't gonna use it, and we got like a different it's the same song but a different tune, if I'm saying it right. It's the same song but in a different way. I mean, and again, I don't like it when people overthink on Superman. I don't. It's like, don't overthink it. And that's the main problem I've had whenever I watch videos of Superman, is the whole, overthinking aspect of it. It's like, just for once, let be like totally different. But I'm just gonna say, I was watching one of those pro wrestling crate unboxings, and this one you get like Vader the wrestler with half of Darth Vader's face on it, and this guy, he says he doesn't like Star Wars because it's so unrealistic. I'm like thinking, it's not a documentary, right? It's a movie. Just don't overthink it. Like, actually let yourself be lost in it. Just really, that's my main problem though. It's like, seriously, like, no, seriously, watch a Superman movie with somebody and have them go, oh well, realistically, if he flew this way, it's like, can you just lose yourself in the moment and just go, wow, I can't believe this is on screen? I mean, it's like, just for once, lose yourself a little bit. I mean, and I'm mostly the kind of person that overthinks stuff. I am, but most of the time I just want to lose myself in it. And again, like, whenever I watch the first Superman movie, I do lose myself in it. I mean, Christopher Reeve, he did such a good job. And okay, David Cornsweet, I think he's gonna do well with this. I do. Nicholas Hoult, he is Lex at this point. I think he's gonna do well. He was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. I gotta watch that. See, I mean, he is real cool. I mean, when Days of Future Past, when he was with Hugh Jackman and James McAvoy, when they're opening Cerebro, he's like, oh, I can't believe this, I'm born this. Oh, when I was a little kid, this was so amazing. I mean, yeah. I forget who I forget the name who's playing Lois, but I think she's gonna do well. I just hope it's like, yeah, I hope they can use whatever they can for it of their own making, but at the same time, I kind of do think maybe talk to some of the 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 actors, like I can make, like, again, he was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. I mean, off air, I know he was like, okay, so I'm gonna be playing Lex Luthor. How do you think I should go with this? And I think Michael Rosenbaum did tell him do your own thing, but at the same time, but yeah, I think we got Brainiac in this, so who knows? But other than that, I enjoyed it. I can't wait for it to come out. Wait, was it June or July? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go to premiere because I know I'm not gonna get tickets right away. Trust me, I'm one of those. No, I will have waited half a month to go see it. I mean, it took me a while to see Deadpool and Wolverine, but I went. Yeah. So be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notify bell for all notifications. Now I am doing shout outs. I'm still gonna do that. Don't worry. Wolverine1591 of GamerSex sign out. The Lord Car. Have a good one.